Like
Let's
that.
go. Hey guys, I'm here with Tony from Desolated.
Hello.
What's up? How are you doing? So
Thank you for having me.
You got
Pleasure
to
to
take
be here.
Alex. I'm not from here actually.
Huh?
I'm actually from Croatia.
No, thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, on the show. Let's fucking.
We're in this professional alleyway. We got the lights set up, all good.
I guess it's a show now.
It's a show. It's a show. This is episode 100.
103 or something.
Yeah.
Listen, I wanna talk to you about UK hardcore. So like, when you were a teenager in school, what was the hardcore scene like in the UK?
So we used to have a venue in London called the 12 Bar Club. It was on Denmark Street, and that's where Ruction Records would host a monthly night. So it was all the LBU bands, and then they'd have whatever touring bands were coming through, and then they'd have local bands in the area coming through as well. So I lived close by to that, and so did my friends. We all lived on the same housing estate. So it was about 20 minutes for us to go there. So we started going to that, and then we started a band. I was about 15 years old, I think, at this point, or 16 years old. So we started going to these shows and then meeting the people there. One of the main people that was putting it on was a guy called Pierre, singer of the band Knuckle Dust.
Okay.
So they was putting on that night, and then we went to that a few times, and then he was like, "Oh, does your band want to play one of the nights? You can just open up the show." I think it was maybe one of the first shows we ever played was at this place. So we done that, and then through that we started meeting more people that were there, and then there was a few other venues in London. One was called like the Tufnell Park Dome, which is still going now. And yeah, from then on basically, I'd never really been to hardcore shows. I'd been to like metal shows, you know, like bigger ones, bands like Suicide Silence, stuff like that.
Of course.
But it was always, you know, big rooms, barriers, you just went and you enjoyed it. Going to one of those shows, especially as a young teenager, you've got these grown men that have been there for, you know, 10 years, 20 years and stuff like that, can be intimidating. And then you start to realise that actually the reason these scenes are so successful is that these older people are actually taking the younger people in. You're not showing up, and they're not going to you like, "Why are you here?" They're actually taking you in, invite you on the shows. And then going to those sort of shows where it was smaller, and you sit there and you think like, "Oh, I could actually do that. You know, I could actually go and play a show. I don't need to be, you know, professional musician to be playing these 1,000, 2,000 cap rooms. Like, we could actually do this." So we started doing that, and then from then on, yeah, that was it. Just hooked on it. We was going every month, any venue we could play. Our band played 3-4 times a week.
This was already Desolated.
No, this was before.
This was another band.
Yeah,
What was it called?
There was a band called Idle Hands,
Idle
which
Hands.
is still going now. We don't really play many shows now. But yeah, so I think I've seen other stuff from abroad, where other countries where they're saying it's sometimes younger kids are finding it harder to go to places because people have been gatekeeping it or whatever. But London specifically, I found back then, I'm talking maybe like between 15 and 20 years ago, I thought it was very welcoming, and that's what started it out for all of us. So yeah, I think it's always been great. UKHC, you know, it's a strong point. It's still
just getting better.
Yeah,
right?
it's still going strong now. I mean, some of the bands from the UK, like Split Knuckle, good friends of mine.
Yeah, amazing. Essex Kings.
Yeah, they're touring everywhere. They're playing every show you can get. They played, you know. So I think UK does a good job at taking bands and taking people in and making them a part of something bigger than itself, which does better for everyone. That's why we're all still here doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Outbreak Festival, for example, like you can really see that the scene cultivated this over the years.
Because Outbreak Festival, I live in the north of England now. I live in a place called Sheffield, which is about 3 hours north of London, and that was where Outbreak Festival started. And I remember, like, I think it might have been 2011. My dates might be wrong, but and you know, it was like 200 kids in a hall in Sheffield. To see now what it's become is insane. But the thing is as well, you know, people have their opinions on it. They say, "Oh, it's turned into like a corporate festival or whatever, blah blah blah." But at the end of the day,
it's still the music.
You still get to go there and see some of the biggest bands in the world all in one place, and that's good. Whether you're a consumer or you're a band, it is good.
It is good. I mean, to me this was special. I went to Outbreak for the first time this year.
Yeah.
I saw back to back Tsunami, God Save, Terror, I can keep counting.
Yeah.
You know, I come from Croatia, such bands almost never come here. And to be able to see all these bands in one place,
it's crazy.
It's really mind breaking.
Yeah. So I think they're doing good things. I think it's good.
Yeah. And now when we're on like the topic of modern hardcore, big festivals, I think you and me both know there's like a little issue in the scene and about violent dancing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's my opinion that this belongs in hardcore.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I saw Billy Club Sandwich, I
Yeah.
Rate, for example, you know those crazy videos, yeah? And a lot of, let's say, older people, but not all of them, I don't want to generalize.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely shout out to Dejan Stefanov, this is the singer from Vendetta.
Okay. Great band.
This guy, he knows it, like
Yeah.
he understands it, you know. What's your opinion on this divide? What can we do to work on it? That, like let's say, kids get attacked at shows like this. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what's your opinion on this stuff?
So, I mean, Desolated is a good talking point about it because obviously our shows are notorious for that happening because of, you know, like the Death by My Side music video is basically a music video that just features that type of dancing. And it sort of spawned this culture, especially in the UK, around sort of 2011 to like 13. And don't get me wrong, this stuff was happening way before.
In the 90s.
Yeah, this stuff has been happening for years, but especially it happened with us in the UK, where you'd come to a Desolated show and people just was attacking everybody. And I feel like it's like when we play now, it'll happen when we play tonight. That, you know, the type of songs we play, that's what people do. And we encourage it, we're all for it. Now, I'm not encouraging someone to go out there and smash a fucking chair over someone's head and start all these problems. That's not what I want. But there is a time and a place, and, you know, people going out there and doing that type of dancing. Personally, I think it belongs in the right space, in the right shows. Yeah, in the right shows. I'm not going to go and play a mixed bill show with some ska bands and expect people to start doing all that. And it works the other way around. So if I'm not expecting to go there with this type of music and people start doing all this violent dancing, then people who don't like that dancing, who are at a show where that stuff happens, you've also got to read the room. If you don't want that to happen to you, you know, there are multiple places you can probably go. Whether you do want to watch the show, you can stand at the back, you can get away from it. And it's like, if someone goes over and they're fucking beating on someone or whatever, the first reaction from someone usually, if they don't like it, they try and start a fight with them or whatever, rather than being like, you know, hey, just, for whatever reason, you know, maybe someone's, oh, they're injured, whatever, I'll just leave it there. I feel like it does have its time and its place, and I don't know the solution on how you would fix it, more so than people trying to talk about it instead of just immediately trying to fight each other.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you've got a group of people over here and they feel like they can do what they want. They can go and mosh on loads of kids. This is also a problem. So these guys over here, they like violent dancing. So these guys over here. But then because these guys are in a big group, if those guys mosh near them, then they have a problem with it. And then they start a problem there. Whereas everyone can just, you know, you can get on with it. We play loads of shows where you see people who are friends kicking the shit out of each other. As soon as the show finishes, they're shaking hands, it's all fine.
Yeah, I love to crowd kill my friends.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just a fun thing to do, man. The music hits you, that's the way it is.
Exactly.
Yeah?
So, you know, yeah, I think it's got a time and a place. Like, if we play a show, that's what we like to see. I don't like it when, you know, people just start fucking fighting each other.
Yeah, but this is not dancing. At this point, that's just a fight.
Yeah, when you start fighting stuff like that. So, I think the only way you're gonna, I don't know, what's the word? Like fix it.
Yeah, it's not something that can be fixed.
Yeah,
basically.
Because I mean, these arguments have been going since the 90s. It's never. I don't think it's ever going to end.
Yeah,
never going to end. But I think it's a time and a place. If you're the type of, if you're going to watch, I don't know, let's say Desolated again as an example. If you're going to go watch a Desolated show and you want to stand,
talking about your band, right?
and you want to stand in the middle of the whole room with a glass pint of beer in your hand, and then someone crashes into you and you drop your pint of beer, you can't then turn around and start fighting them because you're standing there in the wrong place.
It's like standing on the highway and wondering why a car hit you.
Exactly. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a solution to it.
No, I don't think there is.
But I think it's important to at least talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think the big divide is between the older and the younger generation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I just find it ridiculous when like people from like old heads tell me that this wasn't around when they were young.
Yeah. There's a video.
This is such a lie, man.
There's a video, 2003. I can't remember the exact festival, but it's Lamb of God playing. I love Lamb of God. Lamb of God, obviously they're a metal band, right? There's people moshing like you would at a hardcore show. Not necessarily crowd killing. They're not walking to the back and they're not hitting people, but they're like, you know, they're moshing into people. So that's Lamb of God in 2003. You can go back and watch videos from the 90s, and people are doing that stuff. So to say that it's not happening or it didn't happen back then is not true. It's not true. Maybe these people weren't at a place where it did happen. Maybe they were at more punk shows, metal shows, I don't know. But it's always happened. It's never gonna stop.
I have seen videos from 1998, Archangel in Belgium.
Yeah, one of the hardest bands ever.
One of the best bands
ever. But yeah, like with Archangel played in London recently, and yeah, mate, it was so violent. Like bands like Cold Hard Truth as well. Oh. You know, that stuff gets a bit out of hand sometimes. You think like, man, people, but then you look over and you're like, oh, some people getting hurt. But if you're partaking in it, you're moshing that hard, so are other people. You've also got to expect to get hit back. It's when that also causes a problem. It's when people want to mosh really hard, but then if someone does it back to them, they have a problem with it. It's like you can't have it both ways. If you're going to do it, it's going to get done back to you.
Yeah.
So I think that might be another thing, because if you're a person that doesn't see that often, and then you're at a show and you see kids beating on each other, and then they start fighting, I'm going to be like, well, why we're going to places where they do this, but they just end up fighting. So maybe that in itself creates a divide, because people are like, well, I don't want to get in a fight, so what? Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So I think like there's issues with it in itself amongst the people that do it. That maybe if that stuff got straightened out, then it might be easier for other people to see that, like, okay, no, they are doing it, but afterwards everything's fine. So maybe that's something. Maybe it's just the attitude towards it in general needs to change.
Yeah, but it's difficult. Like one wrong person at one show.
Yeah, and I think that's always going to be the case, because you know every person is different.
Yeah.
You can't say that everyone's going to act the same way. There's always going to be one person that's not going to like something, and so yeah, it's a hard subject. Good subject to talk about though. You're doing the right thing of bringing attention to it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
I think what we concluded here, it's always been an issue. It's always gonna be an issue, but we can work on making it not being so prominent, so to say. Yeah. And to wrap this up, what are your favorite 3 ever hardcore bands or releases? Whichever you prefer.
Knuckle Dust are my favourite hardcore band of all time. Always will be. I think they're the greatest band. Not just that, like that one band created an entire scene. There were bands before them in London that were doing some sort of stuff, but Knuckle Dust took the worldwide hardcore, put it into London, and it developed into its own thing, and it's unstoppable, and it will never stop, and they're one of the most legendary bands of all time. So that's number 1. But then I've gone for 2 London bands, but 9 Bar, I'll call 9 Bar an honorary mention. 9 Bar are definitely in there. If we're going straight hardcore bands, Trapped Under Ice. I think Trapped Under Ice are unbeatable. They've got some of the best riffs. As a singer, they've got some of the best catchy vocal hooks. You think of a Trapped Under Ice song, you don't just think of the riff or the drum beats. The vocal lines that he's got in there stay in your head.
Till I die.
Yeah, and
every
like,
morning I wake up, I hear it in my head.
I mean, true love, set fire to my soul. Yeah, so I've got Knuckle Dust, Trapped Under Ice, and then it's a hard one. What about number 3?
But pick something.
Madball. I remember I must have been about 17 years old, and I saw the music video for that song Pride. You know, the black and white one where he's wearing the white vest.
Yeah.
It's got the fucking Italian mobster look.
The start of the video with the old car.
Yeah, dun.
And then the brickyard or whatever it's iconic.
It's iconic. And I know they're cliche choices, you know, Madball, but the reason it's a cliche choice is because they're one of the greatest bands ever.
I wouldn't say it's a cliche choice.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna go Knuckle Dust number 1, Trapped Under Ice number 2, Madball number 3, and an honourable mention of 9 Bar, because 9 Bar are fucking unbelievable. And they've been grinding for over 20 years, and they just don't give a fuck about being famous. They don't give a fuck about. They'll just show up. They'll play a show to 10 kids. They'll play a show to 10,000. They don't give a fuck.
And they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck at all, which I like.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Really,
that's my top 3.
Yeah, man, thank you so much for this.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I think this was a really good thing.